Some of y'all are so closed-minded that you don't know a good thing when it hits you. Oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. While some of us out here scamming our way all the way to the damn bank. The company pays every Thursday, y'all. With COVID and job losses, it's a great way to make some extra money. Drop down in the description box below to join my sales team. And you do not have to have a big social media following or platform. We all have a network. Sell the crap to the people in your network. You get 50% of the sale back in commission. What are you waiting for? Now, why don't people let Ashley mama come on their TV looking like that with that goddamn eye patch over her damn eye? Lord have mercy, Jesus. Sheila is just one walking read. Sheila looked like every woman on the block. Yes, she is every woman, and it's all in her. Y'all, the Real Housewives of Potomac gave us a whole lot to talk about. Oh, Candiace, girl, you probably not gonna like me after this. And Eddie, I feel so bad for you. Want to talk about it? Here you go. Now, so girl, did you get into this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac? Now look, y'all, I know I'm late. I was late on Sunday because I had something to do. I was supposed to give it to y'all on Monday. Then I was going to get up and give it to y'all early today, but we had went down to the bar last night. Miss Kitty came down there rolling her kiki. We stayed to 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even know where my car at. I don't even know how I got home. I still don't know where my car at. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Nevertheless, I may not come when you want me, but I think I'm on time for those of y'all who up, and we gonna talk about it. So this episode has me triggered in so many different directions. And because it's late and I don't feel like tempering myself, I'm really just gonna give it how I see it. Fair, honest, that's all I can do. Eddie's parents, the episode opens up with Wendy and Eddie and them talking about wanting his parents to come to the thing and should he invite them or not. And here's what I don't understand. And I'm trying to be sensitive because I'm not Nigerian and I don't understand certain aspects of the culture, right? But I don't have to be Nigerian to know that there is no dogma, there is no social status, there is no way of believing that I'm going to be so married to that it's going to have me throw away my whole child. Like they threw away their whole child from my understanding because Wendy Mammy and his mammy can't get along. So they was fine and well with them being together. Soon as them two stopped being able to get along, now all of a sudden they don't want him to marry her. Like, and if that's what it means to be Nigerian, then I'm happy that I'm not. That shit don't make no fucking sense to me. And I think a large part of the reason why I'm triggered is because there's another situation that I'm so close to in my personal life where somebody is of a particular religion and their children have not done certain things per the rules of the religion and they basically just exiled their children. I don't believe in that. Especially over something that is as trivial as two women having a clash of egos. And I was going to save this for later on in the thing when Wendy and Eddie actually had the event and his parents did not come. And I was wondering, could it be possible and would Wendy's mom be open to potentially apologizing to the woman, not because she's wrong, because I don't know what the disagreement was about, but doing it as a way of making her feel better so she can come back around and be in her children's life and grandchildren's life. And granted, no one should have to do that, but this is just a really sad situation, and it is infuriating for me that it's gotten this far, especially when Wendy was talking about how even the siblings doing what Nigerians do sided with the mom. That is just hurtful. especially considering the fact that Eddie didn't do anything. You mad with this girl mama. So because you mad with the mama, it's a lot. And then they keep talking about, you know, Wendy's mom having this high standing in the Nigerian community, this high standing. Please help me understand. Is it high standing in Nigeria? Or is it just high standing in the DC area? Because if it's just high standing locally, then child, that standing ain't worth a hill of fucking beans, okay? Like, I know we ain't having all this falling out or whatever the case may be because your mama is the it girl down to the country club. Because does she still have this standing if she was to come down to Miami or Atlanta? Somebody gonna have to help me understand just how far this standing goes in what Nigerian community she is part of. Nevertheless, we're gonna move right along. Because y'all know I have a tendency of going in on people mamas, and I'm not here to do that today. Ashley mama gave us enough to talk about. Ashley and Michael go down to the therapy or whatever. You know, I hate to say this, but Michael just really feels like he's full of shit. You know, and while I do think that, you know, their relationship may be going through some changes as a result of bringing a baby into the equation, it really feels like Michael was making a bunch of fucking excuses. You know what I'm saying? Excuses that somehow make it seem like it's Ashley's fault. Like, I'm feeling neglected. I mean, sir, she pushed your entire baby out of her cooch and tore her asshole up in the process. I mean, it is your kid. It's not like Ashley went on and became the troop leader number 9 of the goddamn Girl Scouts, and now she's not able to pay you the type of attention that you need. And the reality of the situation too is, let's face it, you know, Ashley was Michael's fun girl. You know, down to the threesomes and stuff. You know, because the next thing that's going to come out of Michael's mouth is, we used to have so much fun, and now that I can't have my threesomes with you anymore, I got to go cheat because I'm missing that, and that's what our relationship was in the beginning. Ashley was Michael's fun girl. And Ashley did what she was supposed to do. She got to the money. Now that Ashley is married and has a kid, she slightly wants to change up the rules. And it's going to come with a lot of static for her and Michael because that ain't really what he owned. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say this, but I really do feel like at some point, Ashley and Michael are going to come to a point where they realize it's probably going to be in their best interest to split up. Because that's what it feels like is happening. Speaking of marriages on the rocks, Ray and Karen go for a walk. You know, that was a very honest walk that Ray and Karen took. And I'm going to tell you something. Considering how private Karen was when they were having them tax issues and trying to just, you know, play folks like they was dumb and talk around it, it surprises me how open Karen has been, you know, with this marriage situation and looking at her and Ray talk. And I like the fact that they both were able to be as transparent with one another with cameras rolling. You know, going back to the equation changing, I mean, that's exactly what's going on. What's going on with Ray and Karen is kind of what was going on with Cordell and Portia when she first got on the show. It's like, yeah, for so long, I've been this one person. I've been the person who depended on you for the income. I was your background and your foreground, as Bernadine was for her husband. I was there to cook, iron clothes, have your briefcase ready, you know, do all this different stuff. I was there for you for 28 years, 20-something years. Now, you know, I've got this job. I've become public. I've got this business. And my focus and my interests have changed slightly. Like, I want to do something for me. And it is unsettling for Ray because this is not the relationship configuration that he's used to. And especially considering the fact that Ray is, if he hasn't entered retirement, getting ready to enter into retirement, this definitely is not the plan. Excuse me. I had some rib shot. Excuse me. This is definitely not the plan that Ray had for his golden years, to be, you know, making TV dinners and watching TV while Karen is at galas and doing what it is she wants to do. And it's definitely got to be a give and a take on both sides. I hate to say this, but I think more of a give has to come on Ray's side. I mean, Can you imagine? And I can't imagine, and I'm not trying to knock people who are house moms or housewives or whatever the case may be, but I know that there has to be a certain level of unfulfillment that comes with just doing that for so long, and then you get the opportunity to be something greater than you ever thought you would just being a housewife, and it's invigorating and it's enlightening and it's enjoyable, and most of all it's lucrative, and you want to go after it. And that is what Karen is doing, and I think that Ray should just find a way to get with the program and not temper what it is she is doing. And Karen asked him a very valid question, like, are you intimidated by these things? And you know, the funny thing about Ray and Karen is Ray should actually find some delight in the fact that Karen wants him and wants to be in love and wants to be married, because I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of women who have found themselves in housewives positions, especially with that much of an age difference, would now start smelling themselves and be like, well, wait a minute, bitch, I ain't got to have me no older man, girl. I'm going to get me a young man that's about the hustle and the bustle. And Karen is not trying to do that. Karen wants her man. So I think, Ray, you should find some peace and solitude in that and cut Karen some slack. And like Karen said, you gotta be trying too. Now, Karen, you can't punish Ray for saying that he doesn't know if he's not in love with you anymore. Like, you can't beat him down for being honest, because you'll probably never get that level of honesty out of him again. And that's just true tea, sis. You know, like the song say, I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make nobody feel nothing that they don't. And it's feeling as if you would have almost preferred for him to have lied to you, or to have told you what it is you wanted to hear. And that never does any good. Now, Candace driving to testify. Now I'm going to tell you something. Through my last two videos, and in reading the comments, and in just sitting back and trying to put myself in Candace's shoes based on her upbringing, when I saw her driving to give her deposition or whatever, I decided in that moment that when I did this video, that I was going to try to be more sensitive and accommodating to what Candace is experiencing. By the end of the episode, I said, fuck that, and I'm just gonna give Candace ass the goddamn business and tell it how I really fucking feel, and fuck being accommodating. That's honestly how I feel at this point, because I am extremely angry at Candace at the end of this episode. Like, I'm really upset. And we're gonna talk about it. So Candace going and driving to do the deposition. Now, here's the thing, right? Me personally, I feel like it's a bit much. However, I live by the mantra, you can't do wrong to a motherfucker and tell them how mad they get, all right? So Monique did hit the girl. Candace is well within her right to do everything at her disposal with the law. That is Candace's God-given right. And hey, you know, Monique should have kept her hands to her damn self. But I do feel like it is a bit excessive personally. And I had to understand something, and y'all helped me understand. A couple people got in the comments. I needed to better understand why I was so dismissive to what Candace is going through and experiencing. And I've come to the conclusion, with you guys' help, that you're right. Everybody was not raised the same. So I guess because I was raised in an environment where folks get into fights and that's just what it is and it's done and over, I'm not understanding a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's about as accommodating as I'm going to get, because what I'm not buying, and there's just no fucking way any of y'all gonna make me buy this shit. When Candace went and sat down with her friend Clifton or whatever, and he asked her how she was doing, and she said she was stressed out, over the case may be, and she's going through a lot, and she had to go testify. And then she's talking about, she's putting post-it notes around the house talking about you're okay. again, I'm not trying to be dismissive at all, but you would think that Candiace was gang raped. Like, girl, you that traumatized? And if the answer is yes, then it's yes. But it's just hard for me to believe that you are waking up every day nervous and trembling and anxious, and that you've got to put post-it notes around your house that says you're okay. Why would you not be okay? And it's weird because it feels as if Candace is constructing events and things around trauma to create further trauma and perpetuate further trauma. It would seem to me that you would want this put to bed. And the question that I have, and like I said, it is all within your right to persecute Monique. If you want to press charges, press them. Let's just say hypothetically today or tomorrow Monique goes to jail. Do your shakes and your quivers magically go away? Are you then able to take the post-it notes down, or are you still going to be walking around traumatized? I'm just not buying the sticky notes. Like, sis, play your position, but it really is overkill. Like, you cannot tell me that you waking up walking around your house and can't make a cup of coffee because you just damn nervous and you need constant reinforcement that you are all right. I mean, damn, you didn't even get punched good. You got your head pulled. Like, give me a fucking break, y'all. And I don't care. And I'm going to tell you something. And I saved this for the end of my notes. You know, let's just talk about it while we on the subject. I recognize the fact that people were raised differently and we were all raised in different environments, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't ever want to be that insulated in a bubble of wealth and privilege that, you know, unfortunately, that I'm that fucking weak. It's weak. Not only is it weak, it's weak as fuck. For you to be nervous and trembling, and now that we're talking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and come all out of order since we own it. I want to stay in this tone of thought or whatever. So they get down to the damn to the sipping seat, and you know, Gizelle, I just don't. I was walking the dogs and I was thinking about this. Just how excited Gizelle was to revel in her pressing charges against Monique, and just so excited to want to talk about it. And it brought me to this thought. I could not imagine not liking somebody to the magnitude in which they occupy that much of my energy. Like, Gizelle does not like Monique for sport. And the sad part about it is, Gizelle, whatever issues that you have with Monique, they started out as your own issues, and you've created them. Because let's not pretend like the moment you met Monique, you didn't throw the first dart. Oh, you don't have a home? It was so nice nasty. It was so Diane Carroll. It was so passive aggressive, because what you did was you did just enough that when somebody calls you on it, you can say, what? I didn't do anything. I just asked her, did she have a home? Oh, you don't have a home? And then when she gave your ass an answer, I actually have 4 of them. Then you flip that. You didn't like that. You have not liked this girl from the very beginning for a reason that is just unknown to all of us. And it leaves us to just think it's jealousy. Nevertheless, you just want to talk about it. And, you know, Robin's ass is just there at this point. And, you know, Karen wasn't here for it. And I'm down for Karen excusing herself. She got up and excused herself. They finished the ceremony. They sit down to eat. Candace's mom is back. And so, you know, it's sad, though, when Gizelle is the voice of reason, because she goes, you know, we don't want her to go to jail, do we? And Candace is like, we don't. I mean, like I said, Candace can do whatever she wants to do. It's well within her right. It just seems like a bit much. And for me, and it seems like for everybody at the table, the response is a bit disproportionate. I almost wish Candace's mom was not at the dinner, because you can tell that because Candace's mom was at the dinner, the conversation was somewhat tempered, especially with Candace and Ashley. Now here is where Candace lost me, and she lost all grace in this video with me. I'm all for you not liking somebody, being mad with somebody. I think it is unfair for you to start a hate train and try to corral everybody to punish Monique. That's not their place. They're not judge nor jury. Don't have a heaven or hell or a jail cell to put anyone in. And I honestly do wish that the conversation with Ashley would have been allowed to stew a little bit more, because while I'm with Robin, Ashley, you weren't there. So you can't speak on what happened in terms of her being up in your face up at that point. But I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help but feel like they got into a fight, and that's where it starts and stops. And I told y'all in an earlier video, y'all were in each other's face doing this. There was nowhere for it to go but up. That is what happens. There was nowhere for it to go but up. And the reason why I said Candace lost grace with me in this particular video is because where I come from, Candace, you are called a bitch with a whole lot of mouth. Because that shit that you said to Ashley about your marriage and you won't be for long, that was so unwarranted. It was so nasty, and it further supported why your ass got popped. Like, real talk. And I like Candace. And I would consider Candace and Chris to be somebody that I'm friendly with. You know what I'm saying? And I know she probably going to be mad with me and feel a way about this, but I'm not going to lie to you, Candace. Had you been in Carol City, had you went to Carol City, had you grew up in Miami, had you grew up in any inner city black environment, you would have got a motherfucking mud hole stomped in your ass, because you do got too much fucking mouth. You do. At the point in which your husband was telling you, shut up, stop saying stuff. And it's like you just go. And just like there has to be consequences for Monique putting her hands on you, there's got to be consequences. Listen, had you said what you said to Ashley, to one of my homegirls that I went to school with, quiet as it's kept, your ass would have got slapped at that table, and your mama probably would have got hit too if she tried to jump in it. It's like, girl, you still ain't learned your lesson. And just like Monique can't go around physically assaulting people, you can't go around verbally assaulting people. Like, that shit was so low what you said to that girl in that moment. And you felt justified in doing it. And I don't understand why. And I think that was the part that set me off. It was like, and I know we ain't supposed to condone violence, and I know grown people ain't supposed to fight, but bitch, your mouth deserves for you to fucking get popped. I think anybody who was raised outside of a silver spoon environment where kids go to Jack and Jill, anybody who was raised regular will fight your ass down to the ground with all that mouth you doing. Because Ashley wouldn't have been wrong had she got up and popped your ass in front of your damn mama. I'm just telling you, calling you how I see it. And let me back up on off of her real quick and finish the rest of this damn episode. But that shit, I was like, ooh. You like, it just kind of makes it hard for me to have any sympathy for you when you spew venom at people like that. And again, I guess it's just based on the way I was raised. But where I was come from, you'd have got socked in the mouth for some shit like that. And still would. Case in point. You can't go around just saying whatever the fuck you want to say to people and think it ain't no consequences. Eddie get down to the museum and he invite his family, whatever. He sent his mama a text. Ashley go around Uncle Lump's house. Uncle Lump is just not here for Michael. And I'm not here for that mama. Why? The walk, the jeans, the bag, the wig, the eye patch with the glasses. the stomach, Lord have mercy, Jesus. And Ashley, for you to be as vain as you are, and with as much access to money as you have, it's just, I get letting your mama be herself. Let her be her. But it just baffles me that your mama gets up and puts that wig on. You know, when people put their wig on, that's them getting dressed. Your mama got up and put that on. I'm gonna leave that lady mama alone. But when she walked in there looking like a bag lady with all the problems, Ashley mama looked like all the color girls who committed suicide when the rainbow was enough, who considered suicide. Okay, she looked like somebody who almost walked off with all of her stuff. Okay, yes, that. Let me leave this woman alone. That was it. I just read through my notes. I guess the bulk of it was Candace them at that dinner thing. That was it. Y'all drop that in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Oh, Robin selling them hats. Good for you, girls. Get an IRS people their money with the hat proceeds. Now, don't fuck around and end up in more trouble because you don't pay them damn people. Y'all drop it in the comments and let's talk about this situation. And I'm not sure, I guess I didn't bother looking it up. I don't know if the case got dismissed or if it's still going or if Monique is still facing jail time or not. I just think it's a bit much. And going back to that, lastly, at the table, when they asked Candace, you know, how are you doing? And you like, I'm stressed. In my opinion, you wouldn't be stressed if you just let the shit go. All this going to court and testifying and da-da-da-da and your mama coming down to support you. I'm just, you know, I'm just still baffled. I'm just still baffled. And maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm open to being wrong. I'm not above reproach. I'm not above correction. I have no problem coming back and saying I'm wrong. But I just don't think that it was that deep for it to get to where it's gotten now. And much like Ashley was saying, like both of y'all played y'all's part in it and you just ended up losing. That's all I got, y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe and I'll call y'all later. Bye.